Carnival Cruise Line is making some moves today. Not only do we have multiple cancellations to talk about, but we have new ships at new ports, new protocols, new testing policies. There's so much information to digest in today's episode of Midships. Also, we need to talk about the Scarlet Lady. She's about to head back to New York. And Princess Cruise Lines is bringing their newest ship to Florida. Speaking of Florida, don't forget they're threatening $5,000 fines per person every time a business asks someone for their vaccine status. We'll tell you all about that coming up in Midships. Hey, welcome to the Midships YouTube channel. I'm your Captain Corey, and before we get started, I want to point this out to you right here, this little Amazon Prime package. This guy right here is our next giveaway item. As you may know, we are doing a weekly cruise swag giveaway to celebrate the Midships September 30th cruise on the MSC Divina. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video, which will tell you everything you need to know to win this cruise swag. As a quick reminder, if you want to get your hands on any of the cruise swag from our previous giveaways, like the cruise lanyards, magnetic hooks, towel bands, seasickness wristbands, or passport holder, I have links posted in the description below this video to all of these products. They'll take you directly to the Amazon page for each one. So there is so much news today. It's going to be hard to fit it all into one episode, but I'm going to do my best. So let's jump right into our first story, and that is about the state of Florida. From Orlando Sentinel, Florida to start enforcing $5,000 fine for seeking proof of COVID vaccine. Tallahassee, Florida will begin issuing $5,000 fines to businesses, schools, and government agencies that require customers or visitors to show proof of a COVID vaccination. Now, we have a caveat to this, and we're going to tell you about that now. The fines, however, will not be issued to cruise lines because of a federal court order that at least temporarily blocks the enforcement of the law for that industry, according to an earlier statement from the governor's office. This decision is currently being appealed. So that's big news coming out of the state of Florida, which opens the floodgates for cruise lines to go ahead and require vaccinated passengers on their sailings. Speaking of which, Carnival Cruise Lines is making some waves today. We've got all kinds of Carnival news. It's going to be a very Carnival-heavy episode. So let's hop right into our first story for Carnival. From cruiseindustrynews.com, Carnival Cruise Line announces next round of their restart plans. With 8 ships already in guest operation and more restarting in September and October, Carnival Cruise Line today announced the next round of details about additional ship restarts for November and beyond. Carnival Valor will follow the Carnival Glory in New Orleans starting on November 1st. Carnival's Legend will restart November 14th from Baltimore, replacing the Carnival Pride, which restarts its operations on September 12th before moving to its home port of Tampa. Carnival Radiance will have a new maiden voyage date of December 13th out of Long Beach, rescheduled from the initial November 5th restart date due to revisions in her dry dock plans. Carnival Pride's new service from Tampa is scheduled to begin November 14th. The Carnival Conquest restart in Miami for October 8th has been delayed until December 13th. Carnival Sensation has had her restart moved from October 21st all the way until January of 2022. So you can see we have major cancellations for anybody involved in those last couple of ships. The Carnival Conquest and the Carnival Sensation, there's so many changes going on right now with Carnival Cruises that if you have one booked between now and the end of the year, I would recommend going to carnival.com and coming up here to the top of the page where it says update and hit this canceled cruises button. What that's going to do is take you to a page where you can enter your sailing date and pick your ship and your port and check your sailing to see if you have been canceled or if your cruise is still on. So it's definitely something that you should probably be doing. Oh, look at that. I have 100 days left until my Carnival Mardi Gras trip in December. That's really great news. So we have a quote we're going to read from Carnival's president, Christine Duffy. "We are very pleased with the progress of our restart, which will grow to 15 ships sailing from 7 U.S. home ports by the middle of November. We are making slight adjustments to our timeline to take into account supply chain realities and ensure that our destination and shore excursion offerings can meet the strong demand we are seeing from our guests. Our teams, ship and shore, are prepared to continue delivering on our great guest experience and manage all health and safety protocols. Carnival is also advising guests booked in November and December that it will continue to meet the US CDC standard for vaccinated cruises, and that guests will need to present both proof of vaccination and a negative COVID test at check-in, with a small amount of capacity-limited exemptions granted to children under 12 and guests who medically cannot be vaccinated. According to a new press release, Carnival is working to set up mobile pre-cruise rapid testing sites at all of its home ports as a backup alternative for vaccinated guests who aren't able to make arrangements. Details are forthcoming. In addition, guests will be asked to wear masks in most indoor venues of the ship where people congregate. Full details are available at the Have Fun, Be Safe program page on carnival.com. So soon we're actually going to tell you about more new protocols coming in place for Carnival Cruise Line that will make this mobile testing site make even more sense. So stick around. It's something that if you have a Carnival cruise, you can't afford to miss. We're going to finish up with this article and then hop right into that news. With the extension of Carnival Sensations Restart, 5 ships operating out of U.S. home ports will be moved to 2022. The Carnival Liberty, Carnival Sunshine, Carnival Paradise, Carnival Ecstasy, and Carnival Sensation have all had their restarts pushed to 2022. Carnival has canceled 4 additional sailings for both Carnival Spirit and Carnival Splendor sailing out of Australia. Cruises on those ships are now canceled up to and including the middle of December of 2021. So it's a rough day for people sailing on Carnival here in the last quarter of 2021. I hope that your cruise was not affected. However, Carnival is making it very easy to shift your cruise to another date or to simply cancel for some credit. So at least there's a small silver lining. It looks like a lot of people will hopefully have a little bit of a time buffer to make some other arrangements for their vacation. So let's keep talking about Carnival because there are new testing requirements that are going to affect you if you're cruising in 2021. In an article from NBC15news.com written by Keith Lane, Carnival Cruise Line announces new testing requirements. Carnival Cruise Line has released new testing requirements for fully vaccinated guests via Twitter. Important update regarding our next round of ships for our restart and our operational plans through the end of the year. For more information on ship schedules or health and safety protocols, please click this link. And this link will be in the description below, along with links to every article referenced in today's Midships episode. So this link here will take you to the Have Fun, Be Safe page from carnival.com, which is right here. And I'm going to read you some important things that you need to know because things have changed just today. And that is around the vaccination and testing standards, right? So we all know that unless you're one of the very small exemptions on board a Carnival ship, you have to be fully vaccinated to sail on board Carnivals. So the new effective change has to do with testing before your cruise. So effective with sailings beginning September 13th, the CDC requires pre-cruise testing for vaccinated guests to be taken within 2 days prior to their sailing date. For example, if your sailing is on Saturday, your test must be taken on Thursday or Friday or as late as Saturday if you are guaranteed to receive your results in time for check-in. So we have now lost 1 day of time that you can test pre-cruise for COVID before you board your Carnival cruise. And so that is why the aforementioned mobile testing is something that Carnival is trying to put in all of their ports, because I know Midships viewers have reached out to me and said, well, Corey, I can't find testing in my area. Everything is booked. I've tried going in person. I just can't get testing. You know, Carnival's not working with me on these take-home tests. So it's something that Carnival knows is happening, and they're making arrangements to go ahead and try to to work people onto cruises so we don't have more news stories about people showing up to the ports and getting turned away because their test results didn't come in time, like we heard last week for that couple out of Galveston. Now, something to keep in mind, I know here in Port Canaveral and most likely in other ports, there are mobile testing companies that work in and around the cruise ports. So it's something that you're going to want to check into. Also, a lot of major airports are offering testing, which is the rapid testing. You should get the results really quickly. So if you're heading to the airport for your cruise flight out, it may be a really good backup plan for you to do the rapid testing at the airport. And keep in mind, if you save the receipts for these tests, a lot of times you can get reimbursed from your health insurance provider. So definitely make sure you're exercising all your options, not just CVS and Walgreens for your testing. There's county testing sites, there's testing sites at airports, there's mobile testing sites near the cruise port. There's a lot of options for people for testing. You just have to make sure that you're planning and you're scheduling your testing well in advance. A lot of this testing you can book more than a couple weeks in advance, so I would recommend you go to the website of the testing provider that you're considering using and check it to see how far out they're allowing you to schedule, and then figure out how that works into this new 2-day requirement and book it the very first day it's available. So that's a little insider Midships tip if you want your cruise experience to be as least stressful and most relaxing as possible. We have some Disney cruise news to announce for my West Coast Midships family. So in an article from laughingplace.com, Disney Cruise Line returns to California October 1st and the Panama Canal November 5th. Disney Cruise Line has announced that sailings will resume in California beginning October 1st, 2021. The Disney Wonder will be returning on October 1st, and she'll begin Panama Canal sailings on November 5th. Sailings from Galveston, Texas will be announced at a later date. For any Panama Canal sailings, all guests must be fully vaccinated regardless of their age. So those who are 11 and younger will be unable to sail with Disney through the Panama Canal. So an interesting twist on a Disney cruise line, no kids. I don't know how that's going to work out for them. Maybe it's going to be a whole new Disney cruise ship experience. It might be the time of your life. If you're not a kids person, maybe that is the cruise to take, a Panama Canal Disney cruise. Now, speaking of cruise lines that aren't Carnival, we have to talk about Princess Cruise Lines. They have a brand new ship, and we're going to tell you about it now. From NBC6 Miami, Enchanted Princess cruise ship arriving at Port Everglades today. The latest cruise ship to call at a South Florida port arrived Thursday morning. Princess Cruises' latest ship, the Enchanted Princess, arrived at Port Everglades after being delivered from a shipyard in Italy nearly a year ago. The Enchanted Princess is set to begin its first passenger cruise, scheduled to depart on November 10th. Several features on the 145,000-ton, 3,660 guest ship include expedited boarding, on-demand food and beverage service, keyless stateroom entry, contactless payment, interactive gaming, and more. And of course, the keyless entry is something that we have talked about in a previous Midships episode, which I will link up here above. This is, of course, referring to the ocean medallion technology, those little wristlets, or you can wear them as a necklace or throw them in your pocket if you want. And it's a little medallion that they can track your whereabouts and who you've been in contact with on board the ship. And it also works as your sea pass or your sign and sail card while you're on board. So very cool stuff coming out of Princess. Congratulations on their new ship. Now let's talk about another new ship that's coming to a U.S. port. Of course, we're talking about Virgin Voyages' Scarlet Lady. From portsmouth.co.uk by Steve Deeks. Luxury cruise liner Scarlet Lady to depart Portsmouth for New York on Friday after successful maiden voyage sees 8,000 people visit the giant ship. Virgin Voyages' Scarlet Lady arrived in the city on June 21st for her summer soiree and will be leaving Portsmouth tomorrow and heading across the Atlantic Ocean to New York. Scarlet Lady is the biggest ship to have ever docked in Portsmouth, dwarfing the 65,000-ton Royal Navy aircraft carrier HMS Queen Elizabeth or HMS Prince of Wales. Scarlet Lady made her debut voyage out of the port in August before embarking on 6 scheduled sailings around the English Channel during her visit. So that's really good news for those US-based cruisers who are looking forward to getting on Scarlet Lady as a sailor. I know I've seen a lot of reviews coming out from our UK cruise reviewers, and they look very, very positive. So we're all looking forward to getting on board. I know Midships has been eyeing that ship up for quite a while. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get on board sometime in the near future. The Carnival Magic has some trouble in Amber Cove. We're going to tell you about it here from cruisehive.com, written by Emery Thacker. Carnival's cruise ship delayed at Amber Cove after authorities request more details. Carnival Magic's scheduled call at Amber Cove on September 1st did not go as planned, with unvaccinated passengers being denied debarkation and authorities requesting additional details due to confirmed crew member COVID cases on board. This comes as the situation with ports remains fluid and protocols continue to change to keep residents protected. The cruise ship arrived at Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic on Wednesday morning, but the arrival did not go as hoped. Many guests took to social media saying they were not being allowed off the ship and their debarkation was delayed. And we'll read a tweet here by Jill Shinden on the cruise ship Carnival Magic at Amber Cove. They have denied our ship from coming in. Ship is appealing the decision. Does anyone know why? One passenger on board said, "We are on a 5-day cruise on the Carnival Magic. We're sitting at the dock and the government is not allowing passengers to get off. Carnival's Mardi Gras was at the port before we arrived and they were allowed to disembark. We were told by Carnival that all of their paperwork to disembark is in order, but the government has refused." One of the first place for guests to find out information is the Facebook page of Carnival Cruise Ambassador John Heald. In response, one follower asked what's going on in Amber Cove with the Carnival Magic. John replied, "I don't have anything to say at the moment because this is still very much a fluid situation and I don't have any details. Obviously, we're working hard to rectify whatever the concern is and to work with the Port Authority. We will let everybody know on board as soon as we can." So that would be kind of a strange thing. You end up at your port of call and you see the sister ship, the beautiful Carnival Mardi Gras, has all of her passengers getting off just fine, no problem. And all of a sudden you hear an announcement saying, "Well, guys, we're not getting off today in Amber Cove. We're being denied by the government." That would raise a lot of questions to me as a cruise line passenger. However, it sounds like Carnival has done their best to convey information as quickly as possible to the guests on board, and we'll read a little bit more about that now. Passengers were being kept updated on board of the situation while Carnival Cruise Line worked to resolve the issue. A letter was sent out to guests on board confirming COVID cases amongst the crew. This resulted in the Dominican authorities asking more questions. Carnival made it clear that the infected crew was fully vaccinated and a small number of the crew only had mild symptoms. They are all in isolation and close contact under quarantine. After the delay in allowing guests to leave the ship and enjoy their time in Amber Cove, a resolution was reached. However, guests who were not fully vaccinated were to remain on board the Magic during the port of call. According to passengers on board, there will be random testing and no beach visits permitted. So it's very interesting that authorities in Amber Cove, once they let people off the ship, they said, "Well, you can get off. You can come shop here in our little marketplace, but that's pretty much all you can do because we're not going to let you go to the beach." So what's the point in getting off? I mean, a Diamonds International is a Diamonds International. It's all the same trinkets in most of these cruise ports that you can buy. It's that's just very, very strange to me. But we wish everybody on the Carnival Magic a wonderful rest of their cruise. I think they're due back on Saturday the 4th. Hopefully the rest of their time goes much more smoothly. Let's talk about some new plans for a favorite cruise line private island. And that, of course, is Perfect Day at CocoCay. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to start that in the comments. You guys can start that. I welcome that discussion. Key or K. Go ahead, comment it below. While you're down there, just hit that thumbs up if you love cruising. That's all I ask. It really helps the channel out so much. You guys don't even know how much that helps the channel. And it's free. And I won't bother you about it anymore until tomorrow. Okay, so from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, Royal Caribbean will expand Perfect Day at CocoCay Cay with Hideaway Beach. There will soon be a new area of Royal Caribbean's private island in the Bahamas to enjoy. Royal Caribbean announced on Tuesday an expansion to Perfect Day with a new area. Royal Caribbean's international president and CEO, Michael Bailey, revealed in an email to Crown and Anchor Society guests plans for the new area. And we have a quote, "I can hardly wait to share more news about our plans in the Bahamas, including another expansion to make Perfect Day even more perfect with an entirely new experience we're calling Hideaway Beach. You heard it here first." There were no additional details, but this is the first expansion of the private island since the completion of Coco Beach Club in early 2020. Prior to the cruise industry shutdown, Royal Caribbean alluded to the idea of expanding CocoCay following the early successes of the Perfect Day makeover. So we have no more details than that on any of the plans for Hideaway Beach or even where they're going to put it on the island there, but I can tell you the western end of that island is the most undeveloped part, so that would be probably the first place to look for Hideaway Beach. Don't forget to get subscribed to the channel so you don't miss tomorrow's cruise swag giveaway. Thanks for tuning in today, and until next time, we'll see you at the Midships.